most must-see show on StreamYard and YouTube today. Hello, friends. Your ridiculously over good brother Anthony Florio here, joined as always by good old MF Michael Fletcher, the Twisted Angel D.D. Woodson, awaiting the presence of the phenom Michael Bullock. I'm not sure where he is right now. If he comes in, we'll catch him up on what he missed. If not, then hopefully we'll have him for Cerebral Smack Talk with MF. But for right now, Monday Night Raw, oh my goodness. Yeah, I'll be honest, it was a throwaway show. What else was new? Because, Labor Day holiday, But even though it was a throwaway show, we did have some newsworthy moments, especially at the end of our show this evening. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. Monday Night Raw live tonight from the Royal Farms Arena, formerly the Baltimore Arena, the legendary Baltimore Arena in Baltimore, Maryland, on the USA Network. And we started it off. Michael Cole was in the ring as he served as the moderator for the contract signing for Universal Champion Seth Rollins versus Braun Strowman for the Universal Championship at the Clash of the Champions pay-per-view in a couple weeks. Unfortunately, it did not end well. Seth Rollins, he signed the contract. Braun Strowman did not. All because AJ Styles and the Good Brothers, the OC, they crashed the party. And unfortunately, the contract signing got thrown away. News on that in a moment. It did lead into a match. Your typical set up a match during the commercial break thing here. Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman, they squared off against the Good Brothers. And it was Rollins and Strowman winning the match in 10 minutes and 50 seconds. Contract signing, this part was fine for what it was. It was going well, and then the OC interrupts and basically caused that to get thrown out. Match, I would say, was a solid 2.5-star effort. That's really all I can give, to be honest with you. I mean, it was fine for what it was. Nothing really truly exciting or stand out, to be honest. So, but after the match, the OC beat down on Rollins and Strowman, and they had a little bit of help from Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, the two men who will be challenging Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman for the Raw Tag Team Championships on the same night at the Clash of the Champions. So, solid way. I mean, not the most exciting way, but it was solid, to start off what ended up being a mostly throwaway edition of Monday Night Raw this evening, even with a couple of newsworthy moments we're going to get into in the shorts. So, nothing really more to say on this. I'm going to bring in good old MF Michael Fletcher. MF, come on in. Let's get your thoughts on this start of Labor Day's Monday Night Raw here.
Well, you absolutely were correct, Anthony. This was definitely, the contract signing was all right. I don't think there was really anything bad about it. I mean, could have it been better? Absolutely. I think we all will agree that. As far as the match goes, all right for what it was worth, nothing to write home about. I think at the end of the day, the right outcome was correct, and now we just got to wait and see what happens now. So, nothing too spectacular. Decent way to start Monday Night Raw, but could have it been a lot more better? Absolutely. D.D. Woodson, I'll give it to you, my love.
Yeah, the contract signing was it was a fun opening segment. But just that's basically all it was. It was just just fun. There wasn't anything major coming out of it other than setting up for the match, which I'll give the match probably about 2 3/4 of a star. So not much more I'm going to say about it. Florio, it's yours.
Yes, and there is some news about the contract signing. It was announced we're going to try the contract signing again next Monday night, Monday Night Raw, along with SmackDown Live, will both be emanating from the world's most famous arena, an arena that MF and I hold near and dear to our hearts, Madison Square Garden. We're going to do the contract signing again, only this time Michael Cole is not going to be presiding over it. WWE Hall of Famer and the Texas Rattlesnake himself, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Sheriff Austin, is coming home next Monday night. He's going to preside over the contract signing next week. We're going to hopefully get that son of a gun done next week. And Sheriff Austin, you don't want to break Sheriff Austin's laws. But we all remember those lessons. So that's the big news for next week. Well then, from there we move on. We have cutouts here. We got quite a few of them. Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler over Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder, 4-minute match. So match. Then we had Lacey Evans against Natalya. Lacey Evans wins that match, 5 minutes 10 seconds. It was a better Evans match than last week, and it's safe to assume that working with Natty had something to do with that. MF or Didi, do you want to get into a thought on that, or do you just want to move on? It's fine with me. I don't care. I just want to be 100% sure. All right, I'll take that as a no then. Okay, so I will just keep moving on here. I would probably give that about 2 stars for the effort, if I was going to be honest with you. So, but this is relevant stuff. We're definitely going to get into this. The Raw Women's Champion, the man Becky Lynch, cuts a promo, goes after Sasha Banks, and then Sasha Banks comes out and has her rebuttal, and to the surprise of absolutely none of us, it is official. They made it official here tonight. Clash of Champions, Raw Women's Championship on the line. The man, Becky Lynch, defending against the boss, Sasha Banks. MF, there's nothing more to say. This to me was the segment of the night, hands down right here. Becky, we got the man and the boss for the Raw Women's Championship. The 4 horsewomen are centered around the 2 women's title matches.
And it couldn't be any more better. But now we might have to talk about at the end of the night, because something interesting happened that might change everything going into this. This just got very interesting. So we'll see. But no, this is definitely segment of the night. This was awesome. I enjoyed it. Look, we know Becky and Sasha's been going at each other on social media for a little bit now, and now it's coming to life. It's coming to fruition. It's going to be a great matchup. I think we all can agree with that. Fight of the night, or one of the highly anticipated matches of the Clash of Champions, is definitely this one. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to watch, but they are really telling a very nice story right now. It's basically Sasha saying that, look, when I was gone, when I was gone and the whole 9 yards, you benefited from my absence and the whole 9 yards. And now that I'm back, I'm about to claim that the Monday Night Raw and this belongs to the boss. You know what? Sign me up. I've been waiting for this Sasha Banks. I'm going to say it. When she is heel is when she does her best work. This is her best work right now. What she's doing, from jumping Natalya to the blue hair to what she's doing to Becky Lynch right now, I am loving this Sasha Banks. This is the in your face, doesn't give a you know what. This is the Sasha Banks we all were hoping for. When she came back and she turned heel, this is the Sasha Banks we wanted. Sign me up. This is what I wanted. So I can't wait. This is going to be a great matchup. Didi Woodson, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, this was a really good segment. Definitely segment of the night. Yeah, there's just a lot of news and storyline building just out of this segment alone. Not to mention, all the backstage stuff and the stuff coming up later on. But yeah, I mean, this is just very well done, and definitely, it we pretty much knew, it was going to lead to a match. So not much more I'm going to say about it.
Yeah, segment of the night right here. I mean, a very well done segment. Becky came out great. Sasha came out great. Both of them, they were really great on the mic. Both of them. Crowd was fired up for it. We were fired up for it. I mean, this match, long rumored. We finally have it. It's finally official. When it comes to the women's title matches, I think this one has the potential to be the show stealer. No disrespect to the Bayley and Charlotte match, although I don't know what to make of that one going forward after what we witnessed here tonight. So, but when it comes to the body of work of Becky and Sasha, a pay-per-view stage, they should get a considerable amount of time, hopefully, and hopefully these two will get to tear the house down in Charlotte. So, great way to continue the heat here. Well done. So, nothing more to say. And we're going to move on now to a match that I can't believe I'm saying this actually ended up being the fight of the night here. The first of our two King of the Ring quarterfinal matches on the Raw side. It was Baron Corbin squaring off against Cedric Alexander. Winner of the match in 14 and a half minutes. Unfortunately, our national nightmare continues. Constable Bleepface goes over. Baron Corbin wins the match 14 and a half minutes. Didi Woodson, I know we don't like the outcome. We certainly don't like the outcome, but damn it to hell, that match was actually very entertaining and the sleeper fight of the night for me.
Yeah, it was really good stuff, and great closing stretch here. Corbin taking out Alexander, especially after what happened earlier in the night where the OC had beat him up. So he was already out there injured to begin with. So just seeing what he could do even in an injured state, just made the match very, very well done. So yeah, Alexander was definitely an awesome baby face to be able to put Corbin over. So I'm going to give it about 3.5. No, well, 3.25, 3.5 stars. So not much more I'm going to say about it. It's yours for you.
Yeah, that's the rating I was leaning towards myself, Didi. You're right. 3.25, 3.5. Not only the fight of the night, but the sleeper fight of the night. I mean, when you think Baron Corbin in the ring, you're like, oh, God, this has potential to be a disaster. Well, you put him in there with a good worker like Cedric Alexander, someone that I have been very high on these last few years. And he's the one who actually gave Corbin his best match in recent memory. I mean, entertaining match. And it was a good sign that the creative forces cared enough about Cedric Alexander to give him an out for losing. The broadcast team put him over big for his performance despite the quote-unquote injury, even before they spoke about Corbin advancing in the tournament. Cedric Alexander, he's very good, but I like to see him get more of an opportunity to connect with the fans on the microphone before he can take a real step forward. I mean, his in-ring game is phenomenal. We just don't hear him on the mic often. So we definitely need that going forward. But he can give you a great match each and every week. I mean, when he was in the Cruiserweight Classic, 205 Live, and he started slow on Monday Night Raw, but he's definitely starting to get into a rhythm now. So that's all I can say on that. So I don't like the outcome myself, but I had a feeling that Constable Bleepface was going to go over here. So really nothing more to say on this. 3.25, 3.5 stars. Didi nailed it on the head. This was not just the fight of the night, but the sleeper fight of the night. MF. I mean, when you think about a Baron Corbin match, you're like, oh God, this thing's gonna suck. Nope. Cedric Alexander carried him to possibly his best match in quite a while.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and no doubt about it. But it also opens the door where it's very possible now. I hate to say this, guys, but I think we could see Baron Corbin as King of the Ring. It's very possible. Um, the door is definitely open for a Baron Corbin King of the Ring victory to win the whole thing. And as much as I know, Florio, you would hate it, but it would be a Raw victory. Baron Corbin is Monday Night Raw, and if he wins, I know he probably would be the most undeserving king, a most undeserving king in the King of the Ring victory. But, you also got to remember back in the day, there's been quite a few undeserving kings that's won the King of the Ring in our history. But, we'll wait and see what happens. But, yeah, this is definitely a 3.25 star fight, easily fight of the night. And, at the end of the day, yeah, it was a good match. It was a great matchup. And I get it. And I understand about Cedric. And the thing is, Anthony, Cedric never was really good on mic. Even in Ring of Honor, he never really spoke that much. He always did his talking in the ring. I think if WWE is smart, you don't let Cedric on the mic. You let him compete. You let him fight as the underdog like he is, and you make him overcome the odds. That's how you make a good WWE superstar. That's how you get the crowd over on a guy like him. Like a guy like Ricochet, like a guy like Cedric. A lot of these 205 live guys, you just gotta let them wrestle, let them fight, let them do what they want to do. Don't give them the mic. It's like Roman Reigns. I think the best thing WWE can do is keep Roman away from doing promos. Let him fight. Let him compete. There's certain guys who are meant to talk and meant to do promos. And then there's other guys, you just let them fight, let them wrestle, and they could create the story just by their actions. I think there's a balancing act that needs to be done. For Cedric, he doesn't need the mic work. He doesn't need to cut promos. Let him shine in the ring as a wrestler. That's how he gets over. So I disagree with that notion about cutting promos and all that stuff, Florio. I disagree with you on that. He doesn't need that. As long as he does what he did tonight, he will definitely become a star in WWE. I rest my case. You can move on.
Amen. I agree. So fair enough. Let's move on here to our weekly Viking Raiders squash. They squashed these couple of ham and eggers in 1 minute and 25 seconds. And I'd like to know who I'm guessing it was probably Mr. McDinkleberg or his Bucktooth Beaver buddy. But I'd like to know the stupid idiot in Muttonhead who thought it was a good idea to give those two ham and eggers mic time before the match. Stupid. That's become our new thing now. Thank you, Randy.
Blame Paul Heyman because he had a finger on that one, from what I heard.
Oh, Heyman, dude, not a good move, dude. That's not so good, Al. That's all I can say on that. So, but I'll tell you what here. Viking Raiders. That was 1 minute and 25 seconds. But okay, now we're gonna get into the newsworthy stuff. Now we had the other King of the Ring quarterfinal matchup: Ricochet, Samoa Joe. We know the history. You go back to this past June at the Stomping Grounds pay-per-view when Ricochet and Samoa Joe squared off for the United States Heavyweight Championship, and Ricochet did the unthinkable and took the title off of Joe in the Tacoma Dome. They meet again here tonight. And what in the world happens here? The match ends 16 minutes with a double pinfall. And then what happens here? Referee John Cone asks for a headset. What is this? I mean, what are you trying to do? Are we trying to poke fun now that football's back? Is that what you're trying to go for here? All we needed was that little contraption that NFL referees look at for challenges, for goodness sakes. That's the only thing that was missing. So, but I would have said this was the fight of the night, but because of what happened here, I'm throwing this out. I'm calling this an NA. I know MF and DD will definitely want to get into this, and I would love to hear what they have to say about it in just a moment. The drama with the referee, like I said, made no sense whatsoever. Clearly, it was a double pin, and it's not like we've never had this in wrestling. Let's go back to Spring Stampede, 1994. The Nature Boy Ric Flair and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat for the WCW Heavyweight Championship in Chicago. That was a double pin. Nick Patrick was the referee for that match. Did he need a headset for it? Absolutely not. We all know how that ended. But why would he need to get on the headset or go backstage without announcing the ruling? But then it was announced that we actually did get a follow-up on this. Corey Graves went backstage with referee John Cone, and then Baron Corbin's like, well, hey, they eliminated each other, so I should get a bye to the finals. And I was getting ready to go on my biggest 1997 Bret Hart-like rant had that happen, but thankfully that did not happen. Referee John Cone said that management made the ruling that Ricochet and Samoa Joe are not going to be eliminated. They're both going to move on. And for the first time in King of the Ring tournament history, we are going to have, as part of the King of the Ring tournament, a triple threat match next week. Ricochet, Samoa Joe, Baron Corbin, and the winner of that match will represent Monday Night Raw in the finals of the King of the Ring tournament at the Clash of the Champions pay-per-view. NA for the match because of the ending, even though it was just really getting good. MF, I mean, I think this is as good a time as any for you to drop that old school 96, 97 JR knowledge on this. I mean, we've never had a triple threat match in the history of the King of the Ring tournament.
No, first time ever. And on top of that, the one fear that we almost had was for the first time since 1995 King of the Ring tournament, where we had a controversial ending, a double pin. So we almost had a double elimination. As many of you guys know, it was, I believe, Kama versus Shawn Michaels in the 1995 King of the Ring tournament in Philadelphia at the Core State Spectrum. That led to a double draw and a double elimination, and we almost had it, Florio. But because Corbin had a point, a double pin would have meant that both men would have been out. Corbin would have gotten the bye to the finals. So no, that would have been it, and I would have been, if it was letter of the law, that should have happened. That should have been a double elit. No doubt about it. I'm actually with Corbin on it. That should have been a double elimination, and Corbin should have gone to the finals. So what WWE did was an unprecedented move, but it also undercutted Corbin in a sense, because a double pin should have been a draw and a double elimination. So Corbin had a right to call out what he said. For him to say that's a double elimination, I should be going to the finals, Corbin is right in a sense. He's absolutely right. He should be going to the finals, but he's not. So because management decided, hey, it was a double pin, they both deserved the right to move on because it wasn't a time limit draw, it wasn't a double count out, it wasn't a double disqualification. So a double pin, you had to call it the way you saw it. And I don't even have a problem with the referee trying to get another look, because when you see a double pin like that, you're like, oh, wait a minute, Is there a possibility that maybe one of the guy's shoulders was up? Maybe I missed it. So let me just go and take a look just to make sure that what I saw is what I saw. So I actually didn't have a gripe with him going to an instant replay to check it out. I commend John Cone for going over there and making sure that he got it right, because this is King of the Ring. This isn't a typical fight. This is the King of the Ring tournament, one of the most prestigious tournaments in WWE. You don't want to screw this up. So I commend the referee for A, going under the hood and checking it out, and B, I commend WWE for making it a triple threat and putting it in Madison Square Garden next week. So this is a double win in my mind. Yes, the fight is an NA. It would have gotten 3.5 stars if it wasn't for the finish, but WWE did some storyline progression, and that is the main thing that we can say. Didi, what's in it yours?
Okay, I can see what Fletch is saying, but I still not down with it. From me looking at it, it almost looked like Joe's shoulder was on Ricochet, so it wasn't completely down. But that's just me. It was a really good match. The ending definitely disappointing. This was it's kind of unnecessary to have another triple threat. But if you're going to end it this way, then might as well do it that way. Since they're kind of hyping right now on Ricochet a lot, and I mean, neither one of the guys technically lost, so it is definitely storyline progression, but it's just kind of lame the way they did it. So without getting too much on a high horse, I'm just going to toss it over to Florio.
Yeah, definitely a lot to get into there, but we'll wait and see what happens. You got that coupled with Stone Cold presiding over the contract signing next week in the Garden. I mean, oh boy, that's all there is to say on that. So then we had a Firefly Funhouse with Bray Wyatt, and it said that they actually had the Vince McMahon devil puppet in there, and he took issue with apparently Bray Wyatt challenging Braun Strowman or Seth Rollins to a match at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Unless I missed something, I never actually saw Wyatt issue a challenge to Rollins or Strowman. In fact, it's something that has only been acknowledged on the arena, which I believe is Sacramento's Golden One Center. The arena website has acknowledged that. So I don't know what we were talking about, but either way, Bray Wyatt continues to shine in his new persona. No doubt about it, with the Fiend and the whole Firefly Funhouse thing. We're going to have to wait and see if this is the direction that they're going to go. I mean, Bray Wyatt possibly being either Seth Rollins' next challenger or Braun Strowman's first challenger as Universal Champion, possibly at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view next month. So we're definitely going to have to, look into that without a doubt. So fine segment there. Another cutout match here. You would think a match between these two would be good, but not really. It was Cesaro against The Miz. Miz wins the match 5 minutes and 5 seconds. Obvious that Miz was going to go over here because it was announced, and this is official. And MF, when it comes to SmackDown Live, you got the match that you wanted. You wanted Miz and Nakamura for the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. Well, you got it, man. You got the match you wanted. Shinsuke Nakamura will defend the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship against The Miz at the Clash of the Champions. And this marks the 40th anniversary of the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. Go on WWE's YouTube channel, friends, and check out the a wonderful top 10 video that they did, an outstanding top 10 video that they did. The 10 most emotional Intercontinental Championship victories of all time. I'm not going to give that away. Watch it for yourself. I mean, I watched it earlier. It was a lot of fun. So that's all I'm going to say on that. Okay, now what we're going to get into here. The other big newsworthy moment here. It was a women's champion showcase. We had the Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch teaming up with SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley, and they went up against the Women's Tag Team Champions Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. This fight gets thrown out 10 minutes and 45 seconds because Sasha Banks attacked Becky Lynch. She was beating the hell out of her with a steel chair. Bayley intervenes, and you think, okay, this is where Bayley and Sasha are finally going to implode. This is the implosion we've been waiting for with Bayley and Sasha. And it did not happen. Bayley, holy heel turn, Batman. Bayley, she took the chair and she went to town on Becky Lynch. Of course, Raw had to rush right out of there because of their time limit. Remember, no more overruns. They had to get the hell out of there. They had to get the hell out of Baltimore so they could get right into the big straight up Steve Austin episode with Becky Lynch. But Bayley finally snapped. Holy heel turn, Batman. Dee Woodson, our resident women's expert. I think it's only fitting we start this with you here. What in the world did we just witness? Holy heel turn, Batman.
Yeah, definitely a holy heel turn. The match was okay. Post-match was probably the better of the whole thing. You know, I'm one of these ones. I don't like these DQ finishes where somebody just jumps in and starts unloading the way they did with Sasha, but I mean the match was going pretty good. I mean, I'll give the match probably about 2 stars just because the fact that it was going pretty good. Like I said, I don't like the DQ finish, but this definitely was Bayley's heel turn. And if y'all caught in the interview earlier, she said that she wasn't going to let anybody. I'm trying to think of the exact word she said. I guess steal her fire or her spotlight thing, type thing. So yeah, that kind of, I would say, was kind of a hint to what we were going to see, even though she did not want to elaborate on her conversation she had with Sasha. So, and of course, Sasha didn't want to either. So yeah, apparently they got on the same wavelengths again, and we had Bayley just kind of I guess you can say, doing the work for Sasha by just taking the chair and laying out Becky Lynch. So not much more I'm going to say about it. Florio, it's yours.
One of the best Raw endings in a long time. Forget the match. The important thing was the post-match angle. WWE dropped the ball on Bayley when they called her up to the main roster. She's just never been booked as well on the main roster as she was in NXT. The heel turn is a needed change. I'm all for it. I think this heel turn is going to do her wonders, without a doubt. And now it makes things very interesting when it comes to that SmackDown Women's Championship match at the Clash of the Champions. We've got a heel versus heel matchup now with this Bayley heel turn. I mean, who knows? It may have made that match even more interesting with Bayley and Charlotte. I mean, we're going to have to wait and see. But either way, the 4 horsewomen are all over this thing. But, oh my word. I mean, social media, as expected, blowing up. Bayley right now, #1 trend on Twitter right now is Bayley. and for good reason. The women main evented Raw with Sasha and Bayley involved 3 weeks after Sasha returns for the first time since Mania. I mean, which also included Sasha, and it was the best Raw ending in who knows how long. I mean, what else is there to say? I mean, wow. I mean, there's really nothing left for me to say on this. I mean, Sasha and Bayley deserve this so much after going through, God knows what in all of 2018. This is their year. The story makes sense. And this is a great time for fans of the Boston Hug Connection. So, wow. So, there's really nothing more to say. The fight, I'm not, like I said, forget the match. It's obviously an NA because it was thrown out. But what happened afterwards, I mean, this is something that, for the first time in a long time, Raw finally has a water cooler moment here. Something that'll have people at the water coolers and God knows where else at talking tomorrow. So, wow. So nothing more to say on this. Good old MF, Michael Fletcher. I mean, I don't know what else there is to say. Bayley has finally gone to the dark side.
Oh, yeah. The shock and awe, and I think that's the best way to say it. It's shock and awe. Nobody saw this coming, y'all. But guess what? It happened. Look, I gotta say, I enjoyed it. I loved it. I love the storyline. I think it's gonna create something wicked special now. And I think at the end of the day, that's what you want. That's what you needed. That's the best way to do it. What we just saw is the best way how the storyline could have gone. I couldn't be any more happier with it. I couldn't be more ecstatic with the way that the storyline went down. So at the end of the day, I'm pleased with it. I got nothing bad to say about it. This was a great way to close the show. No doubt in my mind, this is a great way to close the show. And yeah, nothing more to say. Anthony, it's all yours, man.
And remember, folks, back in NXT, Becky Lynch turned heel on Bayley. And now Bayley has turned heel on Becky. Full circle moment. That's all there is to say on that. Full circle moment. So, all right, let's get into the overall review here. I'm going to go between 5.5 and 6, if I'm going to be honest. Overall, it was a solid 3-hour show. It's good to see WWE not just conceding viewers to next week's Monday Night Football doubleheader on ESPN, with the Houston Texans and the New Orleans Saints and the Denver Broncos and the Oakland Raiders. There's no chance that WWE is going to win that ratings battle. But it is good to see them try to keep as many viewers as they can by pushing Stone Cold, moderating the contract signing, the triple threat King of the Ring semifinal bout, and the intriguing follow-up to Bayley's heel turn, assuming they don't give it away on SmackDown Live tomorrow night. So, couple of standout matches, of course. Cedric Alexander, Baron Corbin. It's the default fight of the night. Joe and Ricochet should have been the fight of the night, but that ridiculous finish obviously took that away. Some of the other matches were just there, But to me, this Raw will forever be remembered for the night that the Boston Hug Connection, the heel Boston Hug Connection, they're not the baby faces that we fell in love with earlier in this year. Oh no, they just blew up. That there's nothing more to say. So it's a 5.5 to 6 in MF. I mean, like I said, this Raw will be forever remembered as the night that the Boston Hug Connection broke the net.
Oh yeah, and they did, and then some. I'm gonna give it the 5.5 to 6. I totally agree with you. I was in a state of shock. I don't think none of us saw this coming. So yeah, nothing more to say. And Anthony, Didi, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I'll agree with the rating. The main good part of it was all the storyline building that they've done and leading up to the upcoming pay-per-view, and a hot finish for the show, and at least a couple of semi either good matches to semi good matches. So yeah, I'm not gonna say too much more on it. So I will see you guys on SmackDown. Good night.
All right, good night, Edie, and let's get into my Tony's take here, and we'll start it off with 205 Live, and we started it off with a match between Kalisto of the Lucha House Party. He went up against Arya Daivari. Arya Daivari wins the match 13 minutes 5 seconds. 2 3/4 to about 3. I mean, it was pretty good. It went too long with a really bland Daivari Heat segment. Kalisto worked really hard there. Now let's get into this matchup. A number 1 contenders match for the Cruiserweight Championship. Humberto Carrillo against Oney Lorcan, the two sole survivors from that 10-man Captain's Challenge match, a.k.a. traditional Survivor Series elimination matchup. Winner of the match in 17 minutes and 40 seconds, Humberto Carrillo. Humberto Carrillo will now challenge Drew Gulak for the Cruiserweight Championship at the Clash of the Champions pay-per-view. Fight of the night, 3 3/4 to 4 stars. Really good stuff here as Carrillo avenges his loss to Lorcan from 5 months ago and moves into a natural feud with former mentor Drew Gulak. I really liked Lorcan's desperation here as he worked out of his comfort zone, showing how much he wanted to win in order to get another shot. But the rise of Carrillo has been well done, and I cannot wait to see Carrillo and Gulak square off for the Cruiserweight title in Charlotte. So 7 1/4 to 7.5 out of 10. It was a good hour of TV, some solid undercard developments, a really good main event that builds to a natural title match at the Clash of the Champions. Well done. Unfortunately, I can't say the same about Impact Wrestling, though. Very disappointing show this past week. It started off good, though. I mean, we had TJP against Trey, against Taurus, and against Golden Magic. Golden Magic winning the match, 9 minutes and 10 seconds. It was a 3-star match. It was a good opening match and a very surprising winner, no doubt about it. Rich Swann and Willie Mack against Dez and Wentz of the Rascals. Swann and Mack win the match, 9 minutes and 20 seconds. Another 3-star match. Another good match, but much like the opener, never got to that next level. But this is where the show started to fall off a cliff here. The Knockouts champion, Taya, defending against Big Mami. Taya wins the match 3.5 minutes via submission. 1 star. That was bad, man. That was not so good. But what was good, we got a new knockout in town. NMF, I'm sure you saw it on your Twitch, and I know when you saw this one, your heart must have been beating 100 miles an hour. One of your all-time personal favorites, Tenille Dashwood, a.k.a. Emma from the WWE, formerly of WWE. She is now an Impact Wrestling knockout. And I think all signs are pointing to Dashwood and Taya for the Knockouts Championship at Bound for Glory next month. So
that's going to be a good match. That's going to be a very good match. And not only that, but she was a very busy woman, Tenille Dashwood, because not only that, but she was also at All Out of AEW, and we'll get in, and I'll actually get into that tomorrow night during my Mikey's Mindset about it. So yeah,
I had a feeling that was going to be coming up. So you'll have more on that in just a moment. But Chick Tormenta and Jordan Grace against Vanilla Vargas and Kiera Hogan. Chick Tormenta and Jordan Grace. Actually, that went to a no contest, and then Rosemary and Madison Rayne got at it. They made it. They restarted it as a 6 knockouts tag. Rosemary, Chick Tormenta, and Jordan Grace, they won the match 4 minutes 40 seconds. Another 1-star effort. It was sloppy, disjointed. The cliche heel walkout finish, that was another bad match. Not a good night for the knockouts, even though Tenille Dashwood debuting was a welcome moment. Falls Count Anywhere match, Michael Elgin against Rhino. Michael Elgin wins that in 18 minutes. Yeah, that was not as good as I thought it would be. 2-star match. It was okay at best. It was slow, lethargic, had no sense of urgency. Definitely went too long. I can honestly say this was the worst Impact Wrestling show of 2019 by a mile. I can only give it a 4.5 out of 10. It started off with 2 good matches and then it fell off the cliff with a run of video packages and the 2 bad knockouts matches. The main event, not really that good. It was rather lifeless. Usually, Impact is a reliable show, solid to good each week and an easy watch. But this time, like I said, this was the worst show in a long time and far and away the worst Impact show of 2019 by a mile. So there's really nothing more to say. So let's quickly get into what we can expect for this week's edition of Impact Wrestling. That will be going down on Friday night over on the Pursuit channel. All right, let's see here. Okay, there it is. All right, let me see. We have Moose. Moose will score off against Falaba. We've got Su Yung going up against Havoc. Rob Van Dam against Madman Fulton. Tennille Dashwood Tennille Dashwood's going to make her Impact Wrestling debut. She's going to score off against Kira Hogan. And then we got the North against LAX for the Impact Wrestling Tag Team Championships. With an interesting stipulation, and it definitely plays into what we saw at the All Out AEW event Saturday night. So that's all I can say on that. That's Friday night, 10 p.m. up on the Pursuit channel. Or if not, you can join MF on Twitch, because I know MF does it on Twitch almost every week. So there you have it. Ridiculously Raw for this week in the books. We definitely want to thank you all so very much for tuning in. And MF, come on in. I overheard you say tomorrow night. So tomorrow night we got the Cerebral Smack Talk and
10 p.m. 10 p.m. Eastern. Go ahead.
Let me just set it up here. Raw tonight was at a legendary arena, the Baltimore Arena. Your guys and gals over at SmackDown Live, you're going to be in a legendary venue of your own, the Norfolk Scope.
That's right.
In Norfolk, Virginia, NWA territory back in the day. And you got your King of the Ring tournament matches. Ali, I believe, against Elias, and Chad Gable against Andrade. Unfortunately, we have to continue on with this ridiculous Roman Reigns saga, which is at the point of go away. So,
but it looks like we actually do have a match. I actually just read something, possibly Luke Harper one-on-one with Roman Reigns. So it looks like it's finally gonna come down to it, guys. I think we're actually gonna get something out of it.
You mean Rowan, right? Isn't it supposed to be Rowan against Roman Reigns?
Yeah.
You said Luke Harper.
Well, Harper is no longer, yeah. Harper is still under contract with WWE, but they're not going to use him. That's basically what it is. Basically, they're just going to let him burn out. They're just going to burn the remaining time, and then once he leaves, he's done. He ain't coming back to WWE, guys. I'm just giving you the heads up right now.
All right, so with that being said, let's set the table for tomorrow night, SmackDown Live, and you'll also be giving your thoughts on All Elite's All Out, which crowned the inaugural World Heavyweight Champion.
Yep. Well, not only that, but I also got some MLW, some Major League Wrestling. We got that. I got some Ring of Honor, and yeah, we're gonna be talking about All Out. And yes, Anthony, we did make history on Saturday from the Sears Arena in Chicago. An announcement that was made months ago, and that was the AEW, the All Elite Wrestling World Title was on the line. It was Chris Jericho versus Hangman Adam Page, and a lot of history was made in that match. Not only because of the fact that the winner was going to be the first AEW champion, but we also had the first female referee to cover not only a main event, but a world title match. I'll get into all of that history tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern. Immediately after SmackDown goes off the air, you get your butts down here to StreamYard.com and get ready, as we're going to be smacking your internet with Cerebral Smack Talk. Florio, go.
Yes, indeed. I cannot wait. It's going to be a great show. Immediately following SmackDown Live tomorrow night. And then Thursday, I'm hoping we can do it for 10 p.m. on Thursday night. college football Thursday. We'll be on Thursday nights for the next month or so before the whole SmackDown thing goes in there, and I know we'll have to do a reshuffling of the schedule. I know once we get to next month, but for the next few weeks, college football Thursday, we will have it, and I'm hoping that we can do this week's show at 10. That would be perfect for me, and if it is, then we can get into all the week 2 action, including the double game of the week. We got 2 games of the week. Texas A&M against Clemson and LSU against Texas. 2 huge matchups, along with our very first power poll of the season. And then Friday night, we have the season premiere of NFL Friday, where we will review all of the remaining week 1 action as we kick off the 100th season of the NFL. And, we'll run down all the Sunday games and the Monday doubleheader. So no power rankings for that because it's the first show. And then right back here next week for Ridiculously Raw. So don't worry, friends. The exciting content is coming. Get ready. So with all that being said, that will do it for this. I'll put the bow on this edition of Ridiculously Raw. Thank you all so very much for tuning in. And until tomorrow night for the Cerebral Smack Talk with MF over on Brace Fan 95, it's your ridiculously over good brother Anthony Florio for good old MF Michael Fletcher. And in spirit, the phenom Michael Bullock, the Twisted Angel D.D. Woodson. Well, actually, Michael Bullock is here. Let me bring in Michael Bullock right now. And we will get him caught up on Monday Night Raw for this evening. There he is. All right, MF, he can head on out. Michael Bullock, perfect timing. I want to bring you in. I want to get your thoughts on this Monday Night Raw this evening. So let me catch you up right now. So, all right, here we go. We started it off with a contract signing, Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman. It did not end well. The OC got involved. And then we had Rollins and Strowman against Gallows and Anderson. Rollins and Strowman win the match 10 minutes and 50 seconds. I want to get your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the contract signing, I mean, it was fine for what it was. And yeah, Florio, like we normally say when it comes to contract signings, things don't end well. And it certainly as hell did not end well because thanks to the OC. And yeah, and as far as the match goes, I'll give it about 3.25 stars. I mean, I thought it was a good match between both sides, but I'll tell you what, Florio, next week there is going to be no interruptions to the contract signing because somebody's going to be there to make sure that this goes down. And that somebody is the Texas Rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin. All I can say is there's going to be a lot of hell during this contract signing if I know Stone Cold that well.
Sheriff Austin, his law. That's all there is to say on that.
And when he brings the law, you better obey Stone Cold or Stunner.
That's it. And then we move on to we had a couple of cutouts. So then we had the in-ring segment with Becky Lynch interrupted by Sasha Banks. It is official. Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch will throw down for the Raw Women's Championship at Clash of the Champions. How about it?
Yeah, I thought this was a good promo. I mean, the back and forth I thought was really good. And, like you said, we knew this match was going to go down, and now it is official. Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's title at the Clash of Champions. So, yeah, really got nothing more to say.
Baron Corbin against Cedric Alexander, King of the Ring matchup. Baron Corbin wins the match, 14.5 minutes. A very good match, despite the outcome not going the way we would have liked.
Yeah, I mean, the outcome, certainly not the way what we expected, but the match, I mean, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, I'll give it about 3.5 stars. I mean, the only reason why I'm giving it 3.5 is because of Cedric Alexander. I mean,
yes.
I'll tell you what, Florio. I mean, he was a little bit slow put into the Raw roster, but lately he's proven why he was a very good cruiserweight champion on 205 Live, and you're seeing it right now.
And then from there, the other King of the Ring matchup, Ricochet and Samoa Joe. It ends in a double pinfall in 16 minutes, but it was announced that next week on Raw, both Ricochet and Joe will move on, and they will face Baron Corbin in a triple threat match. First time ever in King of the Ring history, a triple threat match.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I think this was a good call here. I mean, obviously, you don't want to take it away from either one of these men, so they decided they both move on, and next week we're going to find out in a triple threat to see who's going to represent Monday Night Raw to determine the King of the Ring winner. As far as the match, obviously because of the double pinfall, I should say, it's an automatic NA.
That's exactly right. Well, it's not the King of the Ring. It's just going to determine who goes to the finals of the King of the Ring. So who will represent Raw?
Well, that's why I said to represent Monday Night Raw, to see who will be the actual King of the Ring.
And we'll see who will represent SmackDown. But and then from there, there was the Firefly Funhouse segment, and apparently, I didn't hear anything about this. I mean, Bray Wyatt, I don't know if he threw out a challenge to Seth Rollins or Braun Strowman for maybe a Universal title match at the Hell in a Cell. I don't know what.
I did hear some rumors about it, Florio, that he may be in line to challenge either Seth Rollins or Braun Strowman for the Universal Championship at Hell in a Cell. And man, I mean, this guy just got back, and I guess obviously, Florio, they're really starting to take this version of Bray Wyatt seriously.
And it's about time.
So much so.
And it's about time too.
So much going to put him in the Universal title picture. I mean, I knew eventually that they were going to do it, but I didn't expect it to be this soon.
I thought maybe sometime next year, but all right.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking sometime in 2020, but
maybe after
obviously they're taking him seriously. They said, you know what? We just may put him in the Universal title picture right now.
And then from there, the main event, which was a women's champion showcase. Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch, SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley against the Women's Tag Team Champions Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. The fight gets thrown out in 10 minutes and 45 seconds because of Sasha attacking Becky. But hold the phone. Bayley joined in on the attack. Bayley has turned heel. Wow.
Well, obviously, because of the match getting thrown away, we have to call this an NA. But whoa! I don't think we saw this coming with Bayley. I mean,
they broke the internet.
Heel. Obviously,
They broke the internet.
Oh yeah, and obviously, I mean, it looks like Bayley sticking by her bestie, Sasha Banks. And yeah, now Becky Lynch has got two problems now. Not only Sasha Banks, but Bayley as well. And unfortunately, with her turning heel, you know what this means, Florio.
Probably no more wacky waving arm flailing inflatable tube men.
And Hug Life, I'm going to say it right now, is dead.
Yeah, I think it became Thug Life now.
I think now we're going to see a new version of Bayley, and quite frankly, she's not going to be playing nice.
And it'll be interesting to see what will happen tomorrow.
Maybe we may find out tomorrow night on SmackDown.
And it's going to be very interesting to see how this affects Bayley and Charlotte going forward. So we're going to have to wait.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So with that being said, overall thoughts on this Monday Night Raw. We gave it between 5.5 and 6 out of 10. I don't know about you.
I'm going to give this about a 6 out of 10. I mean, yeah, I thought this was a good show. Not great. Yeah, I mean, I thought this was going to be a as we like to say, a back to reality edition, especially with this being a Labor Day, and of course with your team, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish in Louisville going on. But I thought it was a good enough show. I mean, it wasn't the greatest, but good enough to be passable. So, a 6 out of 10 for me.
All right, and now we will put the bow on this edition of Ridiculously Raw. Tomorrow night, 10 p.m. immediately following SmackDown Live. Hop on over to Good Old MF, Michael Fletcher's channel, Braves Fan 95, or here on StreamYard for the Cerebral Smack Talk or Rundown SmackDown Live. And MF has a loaded Mikey's Mindset. He will review All Elite Wrestling, their pay-per-view, All Out from this past Saturday. Major League Wrestling Fusion. I think he has some Ring of Honor, he said. So he's got a loaded Mikey's Mindset in addition to SmackDown Live tomorrow night for the Cerebral Smack Talk. Thursday night, I'm hoping for 10 p.m. I hope that's good for you, Bullock, because I want to get the college football show started as early as possible on Thursday night, because we do have college football Thursday coming back for a few weeks before, I'm sure we're going to have a reshuffling of the schedule once SmackDown moves to Fridays. So it'll be interesting to see what Derek Ferreira has to say about that going forward. But for right now, for the next month or so, we'll have college football on Thursdays, and we'll review. We'll preview week 1 of college football, the 2 big games: Texas A&M against Clemson, LSU against Texas. We'll get into the 2 big games: Texas A&M against Clemson, LSU against Texas. Hopefully 10 p.m. Thursday night. I hope that's good for everybody because I want to get
that's good for me, Florio.
That's good for you? All right, that's good. Okay. So we'll do it at 10 p.m. Thursday night. We'll run down the week 2 schedule of college football, and then we'll have our first power poll of the season. And then Friday night, the return of NFL Friday, as we will review the remaining games of week 1, all the Sunday games and the Monday night doubleheader. And that's it. No power rankings on that because it's the first show. And then back here next week for Ridiculously Raw as we recap Monday Night Raw next week from Madison Square Garden. So exciting. So that's it. So until tomorrow night for the Cerebral Smack Talk, it's your ridiculously over good brother Anthony Florio here for the Phenom Michael Bullock, and in spirit, Good Old MF Michael Fletcher, the Twisted Angel D.D. Woodson, and the Hardcore Pipe Bomb Derek Ferreira. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah, throw it up Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed Tuesday. And until tomorrow night for the Cerebral Smack Talk, you've been watching Ridiculously Raw right here on StreamYard and YouTube.com. And remember, no matter what anyone tells you, wrestling is indeed actually real. For everybody who's been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio, so long, and bye, everybody, bye.